How's it going? And this is King here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And I was looking back through my videos and I realized I have never done a video on my actual main team. At least not a recent one at that. And as you can see, this here is my main team here. It's the 2-to-1 ratio using Helicath and Warcaster to keep block damage up, Seeker to go 2-to-1, Doom Priest for the heal, and of course a Cruzier for the damage. The team is really awesome. I've done a lot of variations on this team, but I've never actually done this specific team, so I thought it'd be really cool to bring it in. Now, both Warcaster and Cruzier, they both bring an increased critical rate aura. Warcaster for Void Champions, a Cruzier for everybody. But with it, I'm able to run Warcaster at 77% critical rate, a Cruzier at 83% critical rate, and then the other three champions I've got pretty close to crit cap, if not crit cap. Now Warcaster, he is running at 266 speed. It's almost as slow as you can have him up. He can go higher, up to 270 plus. Cruzier, she's at 249. This is pretty much the fastest she can go, but you do have to make sure that she is faster than Helicath. Now as for Seeker, he needs to be faster than a Cruzier, but I think he can get down to almost that 249 speed. Might be 250 is his minimum. But Seeker's really close, so once you get to like 253 or 4, it starts to not work very well. So it's nice to just get him around that 251 to 253 mark. That works really well. Then we've got Doom Priest at 219. He has a fair bit of leeway. He can go from like 217-ish to maybe like 223. There's a little bit more leeway in all these speeds, but if you stick close to this, you should be pretty right. And then of course Helicath at 248. Just so I can run a Cruzier in Relentless, I have him slower than a Cruzier. If you don't care about your DPS slot not being in Relentless, then it doesn't matter who's first and who's second, because Helicath does bring the block damage for 2 turns. So how the team works is Warcaster comes in with block damage every second clan boss turn. He's the last in the turn order. And then Helicath goes the turn before him, because Helicath has a block damage for 2 turns. And that's pretty much it. So with Warcaster, I've got the A2 turned off, just so we can get more damage out of the A1, because it does have a slightly better multiplier. For a Cruzier, I actually open up with the A1, and that's it. Now, the boss does lose defense down a few times because she doesn't manage to keep up all the time, because I have refresh accessories on her, resetting her A2 and her A3. Seeker, you just open up with his A1, and then he's good to go. Doom Priest, I turn off his A2 so we can just do more hits with his A1. I used to run him in Relentless gear, and I'd actually get more damage out of her, but I took the Relentless gear out so I could use that gear against Hydra. So this team isn't necessarily my best possible damage, because Doom Priest can be run in Relentless, and you can also put a DPS champion there if you're not going up against Spirit and wanting a DPS is the stun target. But I like a Doom Priest, just makes it easy, makes it all fully auto and all the difficulties on all affinities. And then lastly, you got Helicath. I've turned off his A2. You can have it on for difficulties like hard and under. So that way you can survive ages and do tons of damage, but even without it, with the team that's around, you're going to easily do 1 key damage against hard difficulty. So I always have it turned off. Open with the A1, and don't really need to prioritize A3. He will do that automatically, but I've got it on anyway. So yeah, the A1 has a little bit better damage multipliers than the A2, and it's also got a weaken, so that's why I turn off the A2 as well. The stats are all pretty as per standard. That's nothing too critical. Now, as for the blessings, Warcaster has Cruelty, Cruzier and Helicath have Brimstone, Seeker and Doom Priest have Phantom Touch. So we'll get into the run, and we'll just talk a little bit about it, but then that's it. So no matter what affinity, no matter what difficulty you go against, this team will get a 1 key extraordinarily easily. Of course, I've done teams with different DPS champions and slightly different systems, but I thought I'd show off my main team. So I'm going to keep this little video short. If you wanted to check out my champion's stats, you can actually have a look at them and just rewind a little bit and have a look when I went through them, because their stats are on the right hand side where the speed is. I'm just going to run this team, fast forward really quickly the fight, so you can get and see the final damage. The damage is really cool. It's a really easy, simple team, and like I said, there's so many other options. You could bring in Anax or whoever you want for Acrisia, any DPS champion. Like I said, you can go back and reference a few videos I've done on this team, on team styles like this. I think I've done one video where instead of Doom Priest I had an ally attack champion to try and get as much as I could out of Acrisia. And this team, as it is now, she actually gets more damage than that ally attack team did. So it's quite interesting how it all works out. I'm sure her blessings has really helped out a lot. And I think she has 1 counterattack accessory and 2 refresh accessories. And her and Doom Priest are the only ones that can have extra turn or cooldown effects. But yeah, that's the team. This is the comp, and be prepared for absolutely bonkers damage. This team at the moment does 130 to 140 mil damage. When I had Doom Priest in a better gear set, it done over 140, almost but not quite 150 mil. So yeah, really cool. Hopefully the video shows and we get a 140 mil damage. That'll be cool for this video. But we'll let it run through. We'll get to the end. I'll say hallelujah and goodbye. But like I said, we'll keep the video nice, short and sweet. Just thought I'd show this team, make it a nice little reference points for anyone who wants to see this team for absolute damage. Alright, cheers. And here we are coming towards the end of the video. And as you can see how the defense down has dropped off the clan boss, as it does happen every now and then. That's where the good helpful part about that 1 counterattack accessory can come in, because you can place it a little bit in there, but like I said, you have like an Anax in there, you'll do plenty fine. But this was less of a team guide and more of a showcase of my main team and what it can do. So we're going to hit probably like that 133, 134 mil damage. Unless we get a couple nice procs, we might hit a little bit higher. Nope, that's the end of it. Very cool. Very awesome team. So we'll show the damage. I will do a quick run of the builds and then we're out of here. So Helicath with 20 million damage. He's in a toxic set and he does have the 2-star brimstone. Doom Priest with 17.5 mil damage. She's got the Phantom Touch, which helps her a little bit there with her damage. Seeker with 11.2 mil damage, also with the Phantom Touch, but Seeker did take the stuns in this, so didn't get the counterattacks with the Mastery, where Doom Priest would have. Doom Priest will get counterattacks with the Mastery, the defensive Mastery that allows to counterattack when the clan boss places a stun on someone. Seeker would not. Acrisia doing a 1 key damage all by herself, amazing work. And Warcaster doing 13.8 mil damage, which is really reasonable considering he doesn't get many counterattacks, and every 3rd or 4th turn he doesn't get to attack because he's placing block damage up. Really cool team. So we'll jump into the champions, just do a quick run through them and close the video there. So Acrisia, by far my best champion. 2 refresh accessories, 1 counterattack in a relentless set and a speed set. So she's got 249 speed, 83% critical rate, which might sound like a bad thing for when I use her in Hydra, but in Hydra I do use her as the aura lead, so that way she gets an extra 19%. 298 accuracy, so tons of accuracy, so she can place the what do you call it, brimstone, you know, the smite onto the clan boss. So that's why that accuracy is so high there. 269 critical damage, pretty high. and then just a little bit of survivability for other areas. Her masteries are as follows: grabbing down to pick up War Master for that nice damage, picking up Life Drinker, which is real handy if she gets low HP against other areas, because she can just pretty much heal straight up like with Hydra. And then of course during the fight I'm also picking up Cycle of Magic, so that way we get a chance to decrease the cooldown as well. If I wasn't using her in Clan Boss, I would definitely be picking up things like, not that one, sorry, Arcane Celerity, so that way when the defense down or the smite runs out, you can get that turn meter boost. That's really handy one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Then after that we had Helicath. So very similar, but of course not picking up any cooldown things such as Cyclone Magic, avoiding that sort of stuff. Just going with a little bit of damage there. He's just got the Blessing, Books, Happy Days, and of course in the Toxic set, and a bit of crit damage to get a little bit of damage out of him. 4.2k defense, really strong. 51k HP, really strong. Also used him in Iron Twins, so got to keep the stats reasonable. 274 accuracy for the weaken, and then 248 speed, easy. Heaps of critical rate. Could probably try and balance that out a bit better, lose a bit of critical rate, grab some more damage, that sort of stuff. Then after that, who did we have? I know we had Warcaster. So he's in the 6-star Cruelty Blessing, one of my first blessings I got, and it happened to be an amazing one. He's been real fun to keep in my team. So decreases the target defense by 4% per hit, up to 20% for bosses, which is pretty much a savage set on everyone just with that. Really cool. He's in a speed and a critical damage. He does gain a lot of stats thanks to the blessing. 400 attack, 20% critical damage, and 7 speed. And then of course he doesn't need crit cap, so at 77% plus his aura of 23% takes him straight up to 100. So that gives him some really nice damage there. Then I'm able to get 285 critical damage out of him and 4k attack. Now one thing I really wish I could get on him was 3 counterattack accessories. Unfortunately, all of my counterattack accessories don't happen to work well. I got no amulets of critical damage, and I just simply don't think I have any counterattack rings for Bannerlords. No, because he could do a ton of damage if I had some more counterattack on him. But yeah, that's him basically, again, picking up War Master and avoiding anything that affects turn meter or cooldowns. Then we had, who did we have, hey? We had Doom Priest, we know that. Doom Priest. So she's just got offensive and defensive. Defensive, I had that tree going because she was being used in like Doom Tower areas when I had the Relentless set on her. And then of course also picking up Deterrence for the chance to counterattack. Helps a little bit, and War Master naturally. But I took her out of the Relentless set because I don't use her in Doom Tower anymore, and I wanted to use that set elsewhere. So she's just in critical damage and speed. She comes with 3.7k attack, crit cap with 231 critical damage. So not the strongest build. And what amulet is this? Attack with attack percentage. That could easily be upgraded, but it would be absolutely terrible if we hit a speed substat on that, because then I'd have to rework that. Actually, I think if we hit a speed substat, it wouldn't affect it because her speed is at the minimum of the cap. Ooh, and we hit it there. Well, I guess there's one way to find out, and I'll run that later and see if it works. Hopefully, yeah, I didn't just mess it up. 225 speed, I think that's right at the top. I can't remember if we can actually get that to work, but it should be pretty right. Ooh. Let's go back in here. So, was that all the champions? I think we covered, didn't we? We've got Warcaster. Oh, Seeker. Of course, Seeker. Got a Seeker. So Seeker's just in a speed and a cruel set. One counterattack accessory. Not really there for damage at all, but can put out a little bit. 3.9k attack, 2.3k defense, 252 speed, just under crit cap, and 173 critical damage. So yeah, definitely not built for damage here, Seeker. Get a lot more out of this champion, but he is in some pretty, leftover gear, and it happens to work because, believe it or not, with this team, I'm actually able to one-key Clan Boss. I know, pretty crazy. Again, picking up the deterrence for the counterattack and Warmaster. And that's it. I thought I'd just showcase my main team before I get too far, because I just kept looking at my videos going, oh, I need to do one of my actual main team. So here it is, the video of my actual main team. After this video here, I do plan to do a team using Apothecary. I've started to build the team up, and Apothecary needs to be about 268 minimum speed, but 273, I think up to 275 works. So this here is probably the build for him I'm going to go with, and it's going to be Apothecary, yes, definitely. Probably Sandler Survivor. I need to rebuild her, get her speed way up to I think about 257. And then I'm still trying to work out what I want to do. I want to know if I should make an OP team using like a Rio Bone Spear, for example, and she would be my debuff, my cleanser with the block debuffs, or if I should go for like a double cleanser team. So you have a team like, for example, using, where are they? We could use a Gerda Bogbrew. So she's got a, here we go, has an 80% chance of removing 1 random buff from all enemies. Also removes 2 random debuffs from all allies. We could book that down to a 3-turn cooldown, and we could use her. And then she also brings a weaken. And then if that doesn't place, maybe some poisons, but mainly there for the weaken. And then of course, yeah, that could be really, really good. She could be pretty solid against Clan Boss. What's she rated? Demon Lord 3.5. But yeah, she's a cleanser on a 3-turn cooldown with a weaken. That's pretty good, I'd say. So I could use her. I could use Battle Sage. She has a 19% speed in all battles, so that'll make the speeds a lot easier to hit. And then she also has on her A2, once you book it down, it's a removes all the debuffs from all allies, and also places an increased attack on herself. So that's a cleanse there, but she doesn't bring a whole lot else, and she is a little bit on the squishy side once you build her up. So I could use her, I could use Gerda Bogbrew. Eurogrim is a really good option, because on his A2 removes all debuffs from an ally, then heals them by 40% of their max HP. As long as you can get that working on the champion that takes the stun hit, that could work out really well. And then of course, because you'll be using 2 cleansers, one for AoE for the Spirit Affinity, and then one for the stun cleanse, which would be like a Eurogrim or someone. But I'm not too sure how well that would work, and if you could always guarantee a full auto with that. Other cleansers, you know, you've got Ugo, really, really underrated for Clan Boss. He's got a leech on the A1, he's got a decreased defense and a block buffs on her A2. That's underrated, I think, for Clan Boss, because that means the boss can't put up the increased attack on himself. And then on the A3 does a small heal and removes 1 random debuff, which would be either the stun or the decreased speed. So it's a nice little cleanse right there. So yeah, she could be really, really good for a second cleanser option. And then of course we can get to more OP champions. Like you could run a Bad Alcazar. Bad Alcazar, where is he? I don't actually, oh there he is. He's got a 1-star ascension. But yeah, of course he's got the removes all debuffs from all allies, and then places continuous heal and poisons down. And then also brings a critical rate in all battles aura. So that's also a valid option. Let me guys know what you think in the comments of this video of what you'd like to see in the next one. Or if you'd like to see 2. If you'd like to see like a 2-to-1 ratio using Apothecary with some friendly champions like a Rearguard Sergeant, or some more OP champions like a Noct the Paralyzer, who also has the ally protection and continuous heal. Anyway, thanks for watching this long. Let me know, do comment below so I can build the next team to suit what you want to see. And while we're at it, put any other recommendations down. I'm looking at building some more Clan Boss teams soon, so we'll get back into the swing of things, and yeah, things will be very awesome. Cheers.